Welcome to Mr. Brandt's 5th grade everyday math review. In this lesson, we're going to go over 5.3, addition of fractions and mixed numbers. The first sample we're going to do is 5 1/4 plus 3 5/8. And they're going to ask you to come up with an estimate first. So 5 1/4 is, we're going to say that's close to 5 1/2. And 3 5/8, that's close to 3 1/2. So if we put those together, a half and a half is 1, half and a half is 1, 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 plus 1 is 9. So for our estimate, we're going to say close to 9. Close to 9. Now let's find our actual answer. In our previous videos, we talked about finding different ways of making equivalent fractions for common denominators. So for our first one, I'm going to make a list of equivalent fractions. So 1/4 is the same as 2/8. And 1/4 is also the same as 3/12. So again, you have to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So 1 times 2 is 2. 4 times 2 is 8. For this one, it would be 1 times 3 is 3. 4 times 3 is 12. So now we're going to look at 5/8. And I don't even have to go any further with this because 8 and 8 are the same. So I can use that for my equivalent fractions with common denominators. Even though I have 5/8 already written here, I still like to write it out here. You don't have to. It helps me. 5/8, and then I'm going to change my 1/4 to 2/8. So 2/8 plus 5/8 is this. 2/8 plus 5/8 is 7/8. Once I'm done with the fractions, I can go ahead and add up my whole numbers. 5 plus 3 is 8. So my correct answer is 8 7/8. For my next problem, I'm going to do 2 1/3 plus 3 5/6. 2 1/3 plus 3 5/6. To find a common denominator this time, I am going to use the least common multiple. So I'm going to find the multiples of 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I'm going to stop there. My multiples of 6 will be 6, 12, 18. I'm going to stop there. And I can see that 6 and 6 are equivalent. They're the same. Now I'm going to find my equivalent fractions. And I'm going to start with 1/3. So I know that 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 2 is 6. So if I do 3 times 2, I also have to do 1 times 2. 1 times 2 is 2. So 2/6 is equivalent to 1/3. For my next one, 6 times 1 is 6. So if I do 6 times 1, I have to do 5 times 1. 5 times 1 is 5. Obviously that doesn't change. And now I'm able to add up my fractions. So 2/6 plus 5/6 is 7/6. Now I can add up my whole numbers. 2 plus 3 is 5. So I have 5 7/6. Now I can leave my answer at 5 7/6, or I can take this improper fraction and turn it into a mixed number. So 7/6 is the same as 1 and 1/6. There's a number of ways to think about it, but you could, since fractions are division problems, you could do 7 divided by 6. There's one group of 6 and 7. 1 times 6 is 6. Subtracting, you get 1. So it'll be 1 remainder 1. This number becomes the whole number. The remainder becomes the numerator, and then the divisor is the denominator. So 1 and 1/6. So if I took this 1 and 1/6 and added it to 5, then that answer would be 6 and 1/6. 6 and 1/6 is the same as, or is equal to, 5 and 7/6. For the practice problems, they're going to give you decimals in word form and ask you to write it in standard notation or with digits, and then they're going to give you a standard number and ask you to write it with words. The first sample we're going to do for the practice problems is the number 9 and 47 thousandths. 9 and 47 thousandths. When I go to write that as standard notation or using digits, I like to think about where my decimal point is. And dictates where the decimal point is. So now I'm going to look what comes in front of the decimal point, 9. After the decimal point, I'm going to look at my place value, or my place here, and it's thousandths. I know that there are 3 digits after the decimal for the thousandths place. With that, I can either put the 47 here, or I can put the 47 here. If I put the 47 here, that means I'm going to have a 0 in the thousandths place. But as you can see, this number is 470. It's not 47. So in order to get this one correct with a 0 here, this number is 47. So the correct way to write 9 and 47 thousandths is 9.047. Always be careful when you're writing 2-digit numbers in thousandths. If you don't put it in the right spot, you might turn it, you're just going to end up with the wrong answer. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. The next one gives us the number 11.82. 11.82. When I take a number in standard notation and write it in word form, again, I look at the front, what's in front of the decimal first. So the number in front of the decimal is 11. So I'm going to start with 11. At the decimal, I'm going to use the word and. In correct mathematical terminology, we use and at the decimal. Then I look for the number after the decimal, and in this case, that number is 82. 82. Then I look, what place is this 2 in? In this case, the 2 is in the hundredths place. So I'm going to write the word hundredths, making sure I have that THS at the end. That's what indicates it's a decimal. So again, look in front of the decimal, write that number. At the decimal, write and. Look at the number after the decimal. Then look at the final place value and write what that is, the final place, and in this case it's hundredths. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great afternoon.